This NFL Conference Championship Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by PrizePicks. Head over to PrizePicks.com/SGPN and use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN. You get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. We're also brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US based and available in 40 states. Head to cut.com. That's KUTT.com. Use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. We're also brought to you by the SGPN merch store. 15% off everything when you use the promo code playoffs.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. At the last minute, I realized I wasn't dressed for a party. Had to make a last second wardrobe change, put on something nice. Not only am I wearing this fabulous, which by the way, I was going back and forth with the great Carl Banks. And he was, I was trying to get my hands on one of these sick ass black Giants starter jackets, which by the way, it's too late to be a fun, cool present now, but, also got one coming for the Eagles as well. They're impossible to get your hands on though. And unfortunately, what am I doing? Unfortunately, so far I've completely struck out, but I am on a waiting list. I'm on a waiting list for a jacket. So stay tuned for sexy version 2.
Stay tuned for that, Ryan. I mean, we got.
Hold on, I'm not done.
Okay.
I'm also wearing this beautiful shirt that can be procured from the merch store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. It's called
promo code playoffs.
Well, I was going to get to that. It's called soccer. Got my soccer shirt on.
Oh, nice.
And by the way, I don't want to tease anything or reveal anything, but I did have a conversation today about cricket with a man with a British accent while he was driving a truck. So
I did overhear that in the office. Was kind of wondering what was going on over there.
Anyway, how you feeling, Sean?
Well, I felt better. I mean, it was a very intense hot yoga session. The only thing that was keep me going was, hey, right after the hot yoga session, I'm going to get me some Jamba Juice. And now they adjusted their hours. Jamba Juice closes at 7:30 in Eagle Rock. What kind of fucking world are we living in? Keep it open to 8 o'clock. Aren't you trying to run a business? After the pandemic, I think businesses were just like, fuck it. Who cares? But don't you want customers? I'm trying to go in and get the watermelon breeze. They take it off the menu sometimes. They put it back. It's a shit show. Just let me buy fucking juice. Real fired up, Rod.
I would say it was. I mean, this is the classic small business not trying to make money. Business doesn't give a shit because it's not their money.
Yeah.
My sister, who lives in a small beach town in Florida, used to say, like it's great. You can get labor until the waves are good. And then all of a sudden the burrito store isn't open for lunch because there's a good surf. It's like, well, who gives a shit?
Yes.
What are we doing here? What these burritos aren't going to be. Yeah. I don't know.
Care about your Jamba Juice.
Do I have time to tell a quick Jamba Juice story?
Sure.
One of our trips to Vegas, not since we've been going out weekly and we've turned into real pros, but before that, coming off a bender, I actually, if you're familiar with the Vegas airport, there is a Jamba Juice right after TSA. And I actually had a situation where I was feeling like I was about to throw up or pass out. And I beeline for that Jamba Juice and I just got a tall ass and it saved me. And I was, as I was hearing you out there, I was recognized as someone who grunts around their children to make sure they understand how hard Life
work is being done.
Sean's just out there grunting, and I can only assume it was something bad, and then it turned out to just be a hot yoga related.
No, it was that Jamba Juice at the Vegas airport saved my life after my bachelor party. I somehow lost my hat as well, but the Jamba Juice is the only thing that kept me alive.
Yeah, and also worth noting, the pre-production meeting may have caused an earthquake in Los Angeles. So
yeah, earthquake.
Either
happened.
that or the corporations have figured out how to shoot lasers from space, and they just missed us.
Kramer, we got a ton of shit to get to. Obviously, we're going to be doing a ton breaking down the AFC Conference Championship, the NFC Conference Championship, but we also have big news. Jim Harbaugh is the now coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. In just a couple moments, we're going to bring on Justin Decker, get his instant reaction to the hiring.
Cannot wait.
But even before that, we got some contest updates to get to. First off, shout out to Andrew Callie. He was the latest Patreon prize pick'em winner. Congrats to you. Already sent your prize pack out. Autograph helmet, something off of Colby's desk. I also threw in a bunch of lighters. Enjoy that.
Can I say the item off of Colby's desk, almost a loophole item? It's so cool.
Yes,
I would say, yeah. It's not quite what you're expecting. It's not some grimy item that you're going to be disappointed about.
No, it was something cool that happened to end up on Colby's desk that you lucked out.
Colby's desk is kind of storage, so
yeah,
you're lucky.
He doesn't use his desk; he uses the couch. This week's prize: sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Bonus episodes coming up. The merch for the DGens is also, the exclusive merch is also about to be announced as well. This week's prize, Ryan, a Super Bowl square in your private Super Bowl square. So each year, Ryan runs a very private, invite only Super Bowl squares. No rake. Runs a very clean shop. And
oh my god, the amount of people that are going to want invites now.
Yes, it's invite only, so don't ask.
Yeah,
but we will be inviting people from the Patreon to join our personal. Well, Ryan runs it, but I'm in it. Super Bowl squares contest. You can see which Super Bowl squares my dad gets. Real behind the scenes look there.
I was just having a conversation.
Decker's in there.
Oh, Decker's in there.
Decker won. What was the Super Bowl where the punter intentionally stepped out of bounds and got a safety? And Decker's like looking at the she's like, what? Oh my god! It was awesome.
So I was actually just talking with Uncle Ruben, and I was thinking about last year. The entry fee was $200. I was actually thinking about going to $250 this year.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was only $100. Maybe we shouldn't give this up.
So I'm just saying this is a nice prize.
I guess it's too late. Well, enjoy it, Patreon winner, Patreon or sports.
So do we do $250 this year?
Well, we're giving away free squares.
One free square. You know, whoever wins, it's going to tip us out if they win. That
is true. I am rooting for the Patreon winner, besides my own squares. Patreon right behind him. Okay.
And also worth noting, this may be the 25th year of me running this
history in the making.
99, I think, was the first. So this could be it. Yeah.
Also,
I think we go to 250.
Yeah. All right. Also, we got an update on the NFL Playoff Pick'em Challenge, brought to you by Edge Boost. Of course, Edge Boost is the first bet now, a pay later provider that enables you to double your bet at any sportsbook or DFS site with no interest. And again, this is going all the way to the Super Bowl. Shout out to all the people in this. And again, you could go all in right now. 3 games left right now. Nasty Canasta 10 is in first place with 109,130 shares, units, whatever you want to call it. That's impressive. Starting from 10,000, got it all the way up to 109,000. MLB Mal, of course, he's the host. One of the hosts of the MLB Gambling Podcast, Premier League Gambling Podcast. He's in second place with 68,000. Then we got Vozar 53,000, 39,000. Omez 16, and Dangy 2, 35,000. Of course, top 3 get a deposit match from Edge Boost up to $2,500 with no interest or fees. Top 25 get a deposit match from Edge Boost up to $500 with no interest or fees. So a lot of prizes on the old table. best of luck to the people. I went all in on the Eagles game and crapped out, so I'm officially been eliminated. All right, Ryan, we do have breaking news. Who better to discuss it than our own Los Angeles Chargers super fan? You know him, you love him, Justin Decker. What's happening, Decker?
Yeah, San Diego Superchargers, Chargers, San Diego. I want to do it at the beginning this time. I'm pumped, guys. What's happening?
Yes.
How great is this?
Ryan,
I've been calling for weeks. I was even nervous watching the championship game because I figured if they didn't win, he would try to stay at Michigan and then win it again. Just so pumped, man.
Yeah, I mean, Decker again. Saddest I've seen Decker was after that playoff loss, where he then immediately talked himself into. Well, I mean, they obviously have to fire Staley. There's no way they cannot fire Staley, and then they brought Staley back. I was worried for you, Decker, because clearly Staley needed to go, but the Spanos is their ownership. They're incredibly, incredibly cheap. I was worried for you. I was worried that, hey, Harbaugh, he's when his salary comes out, it's going to be super high. I was worried they weren't going to pull the trigger, but instantly gives this team a level of credibility that I think has been lacking for a long time.
And especially, I was saying this earlier that I think it's this is a really expensive PR move. Instead of hiring a PR firm, everybody hates the Spanos. Literally everybody. You already got them in San Diego, and now people in LA are realizing that, these guys suck. And that move of not firing Staley, now there's no excuse because this move is awesome. It doesn't matter what they spend. Jim Harbaugh has this thing where wherever he goes, he wins. It doesn't matter. It's just a mentality. It's just a guy who you don't really know much about his philosophy on the X's and O's other than he likes big physical guys and he likes them to do what they tell him. There's a bunch of other stuff, blah, 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 blah. But that's exactly what the Chargers are lacking.
Do you think?
Have the Chargers ever been for Harbaugh's teams are 100% like punch you in the mouth, not finesse. Imagine a Chargers team that plays. Imagine the AFC West turning into a like ground and Antonio Pierce it's going to be ground and pound. It's going to be 12 personnel. I love that. And by the way, Sean, it does sound like the Vic Fangio to the Eagles is a potentially a not so fast scenario, as he has ties to Mr. Harbaugh. And could be reuniting with him in San Diego, aka Los Angeles.
Well, there was rumors that Fangio and the Dolphins agreed to part ways. Now, in my mind, that means he's got a better job lined up. There was rumors that it was because he has family in Philadelphia, and the Eagles were interested in him last year.
Oh, it's starting to come out. The players and him were not seeing eye to eye in the system.
Okay, so yeah, maybe
Mike
there
McDaniel players. It sounds a lot. I mean, honestly, it's starting to sound a lot like the Wink Martindale situation. Players, coach siding with head coach siding with players. The old defensive coordinator, sick of the bullshit, can find a job elsewhere, wants out, and so they find a way to mutually part ways.
And one of their defensive backs had a very clever thing. I forgot what it was. Posted on Instagram of just him in his driveway literally kicking rocks. He just drops rocks and kicks them into the street. I thought that was clever. Never seen that before. A+ on that one. So yeah, I think I've been hearing a lot about that too.
Now Decker, do you think Harbaugh will install or employ your draft strategy of drafting all linebackers 1 through 7 every round, drafting a linebacker? I want to see it as a man who enjoys chaos.
Yeah. I mean, dude, he coached in the, look at where he coached in the, conference with, Penn State, Ohio State, he's got the physical division, and that's what he does. I mean, why not? He's got such a good opportunity because he has a high pick, and they could go tight end. They don't really need an offensive lineman. Maybe only a center. They could go Brock Bowers, but they could also trade down and just get another pick and then just load up on the defense. I don't think he's going to make that much moves on offense, but he's got so much work to do on the defense as far as physical, tough guys that he wants. And even though he's an offensive coach, they'll probably move on from Eckler. Plenty of receivers.
Yeah.
And he may bring in Pep Hamilton. Pep Hamilton's been out of football, and he coached with him at Stanford and also at Michigan. And not only that, watch out for Pep Hamilton because he coached Herbert in his rookie year, where he set all those records and won Offensive Player of the Year. And then he left when Anthony Lynn left. So he's going to want to bring in Pep Hamilton. So Kellen Moore, I don't know what that situation's like if they're just going to let him go. I don't know, but expect Pep Hamilton to just come in, and it could get weird.
It does seem like Pep Hamilton.
Yeah.
Pep Hamilton makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, Harbaugh once slept over at a punting recruit's house. I think he's going to want things exactly the way he wants them.
Now, Decker, you live on the west side of town, kind of close to SoFi Stadium. If Harbaugh needed a place to crash, would you be willing to let Harbaugh have a sleepover at your place? Again, maybe the stuff's moving, whatever. He needs a night. Is he welcome at the Justin Decker household?
Oh yeah, of course he is. I mean, I think when he lived close to our neighborhood when he played for the Chargers, and you guys are not going to believe this. So let me tell you something, just real quick.
Yes,
I was gonna take my wife to PF Chang's when we saw
this is great. Yes.
Oh no.
We were gonna go to PF Chang's and
real quick, explain the connection of PF Chang's, right?
So the Chargers have branded themselves as the funniest social media team, the best, and everybody's copied them now, and everybody does these draft releases, schedule releases. It kind of started in 2007, where on Twitter they just had a random intern running their Twitter when no one was on, and no one was following the Chargers account, so he just tweeted as himself. And so he tweeted, the most viral tweet was, "I'm so hungry right now. Want to take my wife to PF Chang's." And I retweet it every year.
Yeah.
And so this today I thought, you know what? We need dinner. We're going to go to PF Chang's. We get in the car and I realize on my Google Maps, it's in the airport. There's no, we got to get more PF Chang's in LA.
So LAX airport?
Yeah. So I called an audible and I went to Panda Express.
Okay. Close enough.
But close enough, right?
Yeah.
This is my fortune. You're not going to believe this. This is my fortune from my fortune cookie.
No way.
What does it say?
The return of an old friend will bring great joy.
Oh man. Is
Jim Harbaugh, quarterback of the Chargers, baby.
Oh, that is so perfect.
Get a jersey now
yes, get a Harbaugh jersey.
Yeah.
Decker's back.
Now, Decker,
Hell yeah, dude.
I don't know if you saw this, but someone tweeted out that apparently, and I shit you not, Harbaugh met his wife in the parking lot of a PF Chang's.
No,
I wish I could make that up.
Yes, at a quarterback conference.
Yeah,
in San Diego, a year before the tweet.
Yeah,
they have 3 kids together.
How crazy is that? The PF Chang's connection.
Yeah, playing the long game.
Decker, so obviously you're pretty excited. Any thoughts on the conference championship games? You're a DFS guy, gambling guy. Any plays that you like here for the weekend?
Yeah, so this is a good one. I like I like Lamar Jackson again. I lost the big boy that we do. I had a huge lead, but I just think he's going to run crazy against that defense, that aggressive pass rush, Chris Jones. And I mean, even if, we're looking, Brock Purdy could be a choice, but other than that, I don't like the other two. I just expect him to get 100 yards again. And let's see. I mean, I got to go with the Lions again.
Yeah.
Everybody's rooting for them. It seems like a good matchup. Both teams, are tough on the run, but they can kind of air it out and have different options. That game's going to be good. I like the Lions. I don't know if I want to go the money line, but definitely the spread is ridiculous for that team of destiny. And I know the NFL is going to want the Chiefs to win, but I just think Baltimore's too much.
Now,
Decker doesn't strike me as a conspiracy.
Decker, is there any truth to the rumor that you're rooting for the San Francisco 49ers to get to the Super Bowl, but also for Brock Purdy to be injured so that they can call up Phillip Rivers and that he can be the quarterback in the Super Bowl. That was
Oh
all
my
time.
God, that almost happened.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, apparently the story was because last year in the NFC Championship game, I guess they had already planned that if Brock Purdy got hurt and then they won the game, that they were going to call up Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers was on ice, ready to go in the Super Bowl. Maybe we can get our buddies over at Cut to set odds on will Phillip Rivers be invited to play in the Super Bowl?
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
Aiden Hutchinson comes across, gets his elbow, just like what happened with.
Look out!
I forgot who it was last year. Oh my God, I love it. And by the way, watch out! I've always made a joke about Phillip Rivers that he's one kid away from having his own football team, and now he's got it. Look out for his eldest son, quarterback, all 15 years old. You should watch the highlights of his son. I think his name's Gunner, some really like deep South name. But he throws it. It's like he's doing an impression of his dad. It looks like he's a mini Phillip Rivers. It looked like he started making fun of his dad, and it just stuck. And now he's just like a mini Phillip Rivers. It's beautiful. And then it started getting me thinking. I was like, how old is Justin Herbert going to be in 8 years? I'm like starting to do the math. I'm like, woo.
Oh, it's perfect.
Look out.
Yeah. Oh, and
all
by
right,
the way,
Decker.
guys, I got to say this real quick. You were talking because you mentioned it earlier about when I won the squares. Here's another bit of destiny. That was the 49er Baltimore game. The Harbaughs were coaching.
Oh yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Lot of connections.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We're getting closer.
My God.
All right,
the
Decker.
Harbaughs will see each other next season.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Decker, just a quick song. Take us out. The people love it. Can we get a song?
Yeah, baby. Yeah. We'll ignite you, excite you with high voltage plays. San Diego Superchargers, Harbaugh. PF Chang's,
Love
baby.
PF Chang's. All right,
Build
Decker.
one in the South Bay. I mean, come on. I can't go
Come
to
on. Hashtag
Ventura
PF Chang's.
or the airport. No.
All right. Thanks, Decker. Let it ride. Oh
All
man.
right, see ya.
All that food talk got me hungry. Thankfully, we got some Little C's hot and ready for this conference championship weekend. And of course, all day on NFL game days, including Pro Bowl Sunday, they got you covered. And they got the 4 P's, pretzels, pepperoni, playoffs. I got one more in there. I forget. Oh, and pizza. That's right. Love me some Little C's. It is delicious. If you're watching on youtube.com/sportsgamingpodcast, you can see Uncle Nero himself, AKA Kramer, rocking his mustache, enjoying a nice, delicious slice of that Little Caesars pizza, pretzel crust. Nothing beats it. And you get it delivered or our in-store pizza portal pickup. Grab some friends and enjoy a few slices during the game. Little Caesars pizza. Right. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Conference championship. We're taping this Wednesday night. You're thinking, oh, too late. Not gonna be able to get to the conference championship. Wrong. There are still tickets available over on Game Time, and Game Time is your home for last minute tickets. You want the lowest price? They got it guaranteed. You just go to gametime.co or download the Game Time app, and man, the flash deals. You can find some great prices. You get an image of your seat view. The low price guarantee, you cannot beat it. If you can find a better price, same row, same section, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. They give that guarantee because they know you're not going to find better price. Don't waste your time trying. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code SGPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create the account, redeem the code SGPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Kramer. Let's get to it.
Got my Harbaugh glasses on.
Oh, yes.
This is I can appreciate a guy who forgets he has glasses on his head. And by the way, I'm very excited to hear about the new friendship between Dick Puncher and Decker. I can only assume Dick Puncher is going to adopt the Chargers as a AFC
that'll be
team.
interesting. I know Jake Paquin, he's a big Michigan guy. Dick Puncher, big Michigan guy. Maybe they can use an AFC team. We'll have to ask our buddy. We'll have to ask our buddy Derek Stevens. Big balls. They don't have an AFC team, Ryan. And maybe we even fire up the NFL slot machine. Our Friday night VSiN show, 9:00. Pacific.
Check out
maybe
the Chargers.
The little Chargers.
It's still playoffs. It's still playoffs. It's still
stay
playoffs.
locked into the playoff teams.
One more thing. Throw that on the screen. I know we have a system of putting people who have avatars, but Chad G wants to know how he can apply to get some mustache trimmings. My wife caught wind
the Patreon, maybe.
Well, there was a sicko that said they would pay $5,000 for my facial hair trimmings. And
all right. And when are we mailing them?
Well, exactly. Yeah, that's weird, Sean. I'm not.
Is it?
I'm not for sale. Not my DNA. You're trying to get my. I'm not giving you my DNA for $5,000.
I mean, come on, Ryan. We're trying to run a business here. You sound you sound like Jamba Juice. Oh, we don't want your money. I want your money.
You're whoring.
Whoever wanted Ryan's beard trimmings, mustache trimmings, DM me. I can.
Sean will
falls
collect
asleep on the couch. Get a little scissors going over here.
Yeah, swab the inside of my nose. Send him some proper genome. All right, Sean. Anything further we need to do before we discuss actual football? Actual football.
I love ball. You claim to love ball, Ryan. Let's get to it.
Been pretty locked in. You're gonna maybe you should take back those words. But all right, let's talk. I mean, so championship weekend. I feel like coming into it, a lot of talk in this first game, AFC Championship. Which a little sad. This is the first game. Kind of feels like we're putting the good game after. Or before the bad game. We have to start with Jim Nance, Tony Romo,
Ryan.
No one.
Ryan, Jim.
And
Jim.
by the way, can I? I'm not one to comment on another man's appearance, but what's going on with Tony Romo? He looks like a guy who's been like. This is what I picture: Tony Romo before the broadcast just puts his head outside the bus on the way to the stadium. He looks like he's just been blowing in the wind. His eyes are all.
Does have some poofy hair?
He doesn't look like that anymore. He looks like as if something happened to him.
Got out of a wind tunnel.
Like he was in a fucking sandstorm or something.
Patrick Mahomes. I don't know, Jim. Pretty good.
Ravens are laying 3.5 points at home here at noon on Sunday. I think it's flashed the 3 for a second at maybe -120, -125, plus 155 for the Chiefs coming back. 44.5 is the total. Money line also for the Ravens worth noting at -185. I only bring it up because of the sweet CLV I have in my pocket over on Cut. I don't know if you saw this, but this the Taylor Swift controversy of her availability if the Chiefs continue on this journey due to her international concert dates.
Come on, you
think what happens? No, you think she just private jet, no big deal. The rich people know how to time travel.
Yeah, I mean, she has a concert Friday night in Japan. You don't think
Japan's in the future though?
Right. Okay. So again,
she'd have to go back in time.
You don't think she can get to Vegas by Sunday? Sunday evening?
You seem much more confident. Maybe she's jet lag. Maybe she's a little moody before the game, and Travis is off. Maybe they don't make it that far, Sean. Kansas City.
They got to win this game, but I'm sure the NFL would hate Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl. They would hate. Someone asked me on Twitter, "Do you think the NFL wants Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl?" I mean, the erection that Roger Goodell would get if the Chiefs win and Taylor Swift, and she's definitely going to the Super Bowl. Like, can you imagine the ratings of the Super Bowl if the Chiefs are in it versus the Ravens? It is insane. I mean, the Swiftie thing is real, Ryan. I'm sure if you follow any sort of gambling content, or Moonoff's been all over it this year with the Ref Report. I saw Warren Sharp also tweeted out that the NFL doing what they can. They brought in Sean Smith. Of course, referee under Smith. Home teams are only 37% ATS, second lowest mark among 19 referees. Very good for the home team as well. Straight up. I mean, I'll say it. I like the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm.
Everyone goes, "Oh, it's so obvious. Patrick Mahomes is a dog." Yes, sometimes the obvious play is the correct play. Patrick Mahomes 8-1-1 ATS. Now he's 9-1-1 ATS. Let's just look at Lamar Jackson versus the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes versus the Ravens. Lamar Jackson 1-3 QB rating 78.9, 6.2 yards per attempt. Patrick Mahomes obviously 3-1. Quarterback rating 119.1, 9.07 yards per attempt, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I think scheme wise.
I'm sorry, you looking in that rearview mirror again, Sean?
Okay. Yes. But in the future, I do think Spags is going to be able to call a good game, because if you watch that Texans Ravens game, D'Amico Ryans blitzed Lamar Jackson a ton in that first half, and the Ravens offense kind of seemed out of sync. And then in the second half, they made a bunch of adjustments. Lamar ran a bunch, and they blew the Texans out of the water. But what they did by doing that, I think, is they kind of showed their hand to this Kansas City Chiefs defense, which is superior. And they showed them, one, hey, what is our weakness? And then two, when you blitz us, here's what the adjustment is. Here's what we're going to do. Adjust that in the second half. Spags has the blueprint, and I think Spags,
they didn't stop it. Just to be clear, I mean, it worked.
Right.
Yeah.
But they know. I'm saying they know what their counter is now. I think Spags has been coaching up the defense very well for the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, you're just not a lot of teams get 20 or more points against this Kansas City Chiefs team. And I know Lamar has been running the ball well, but so is Patrick Mahomes. I mean, especially in the playoffs, he has been a willing runner, ready to lower his shoulder. And then just mojo wise, like there's just so much stuff going on for this Chiefs team. I mean, if you saw the post game speech that Patrick Mahomes in the locker room said, there's no way any rational person can listen to that and still want to bet their hard earned money on the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens have been great. I get it. I just think this is where the it's just kind of the end of the road. Justin Reed, D-back for the Kansas City Chiefs, tweeted out, middle of the field ain't free. There's a toll to pay. On to the next. Some Twitter user wrote, great tackler, but can't guard a soul. He wrote back, 0 catches allowed, and I can't guard a soul. LMAO, guard D's nuts. So this Chiefs team is locked in. You got players firing off D's nuts stuff. That is not a train I want to get in front of.
All right. So betting splits, 44% of the bets on the Chiefs, but only 32% of the handle. It does seem like the line movement is money coming in of the larger variety. I think your theory about seeing the adjustment and thus having an answer for it.
Yeah.
I think those are two different things, because Lamar has been fairly good under pressure this year. And I don't know if blitzing him is the answer. And oh, by the way,
what do you think they did in the first half that slowed down their offense?
I think they also bottled up the run.
Okay.
And I think for the Ravens, to me, the run game and it working is has a bigger impact on everything else. And I think,
and I would say too, for the Chiefs, like they've done a very good job at limiting explosive plays of two offenses that have a ton of explosive plays. I mean, Miami barely got any going, and the Bills didn't have one play over 20+ yards. And they were at home. I think that's huge.
So interesting nugget on the Bills, because I actually looked into this very point. Josh Allen 5.7 ADOT last week against the Chiefs defense, and it made me wonder: was this the Chiefs defense or was this Josh Allen? Week before, or in Sean McDermott in the postseason, week before only a 6.5 ADOT for a guy who had an 8.5 ADOT on the season. Now,
well, and they did try some deep shots. One, notably to I think it was Shakir in the back of the end zone, but Josh couldn't get off a clean throw because he had pressure on his left tackle. And then the other one, Diggs kind of just dropped. I don't know if you quite call it a drop, but it was certainly there. So they did try some deep stuff, and the Chiefs maybe fortunate either way. Didn't allow it.
And that's also the way you play Josh Allen. You make him take the settle. You make him settle. Well, I right now, I mean, when you look at the overall number, Lamar Jackson 8.7 ADOT, but this team is also operating the short game, operating the run game, and I think is a different animal to what the Bills team ended up being. And oh, by the way, that Bills team on defense really was decimated. And I think the story to me is more about, I mean, what was when you look at what the Chiefs offense did, they had 8 plays of 20 yards or more against that very, very beat up defense of the Bills. And that got them to this surge of 27 points. And I wonder, like, I'm very confident they're not going to have 8 explosive plays against the Ravens defense. I also worry about the injury to All-Pro left guard Joe Toon. I mean, a pec injury to an offensive lineman. I've heard
that's big.
I've heard the argument that maybe the replacement isn't all that bad. There's a step down there, especially when you're going against the Ravens defensive line that sure, maybe you were expecting to have an advantage in the run game. Well, that's a big part of your advantage, I think. And I also think Willie Gay, he's limited. What are they going to do with the linebackers and Lamar Jackson? Cause how are they going to blitz this team? I think relying on the secondary to do some man stuff and just pray it works is going to be the solution. And I wonder how well that's going to help them against the run. This is a Chiefs team that over the course of the season, they've been flat out bad against the run at times. And while you're right, they've had some success of late. The Ravens, unlike the Bills, are going to show a commitment to the run, and they're not going to run away with it or run away from it. And the last thing I would say about last week, if we're reflecting on last week, that Texans team played a perfect first half in some ways, and they didn't score an offensive touchdown, and they held the Ravens to 10 points. But then when you look at what happened in the second half, it almost makes it feel irrelevant. Because I was with you in the first half. It's like, okay, this is exactly where you want to be if you're a Texans backer, and if you're a Ravens fan, you're terrified because it's happening again.
Yeah. So what do you?
But seeing you got to give Lamar and the team credit for once again like this season they've had a lot of answers, and now they had another answer, which is a massive confidence boost to a guy like Lamar, who last time this happened, they got punched in the mouth and they didn't respond. They lost, and that was the narrative. And so I do think the fact that they were able to respond, they were able to snuff out what had been a very fun story in CJ Stroud, and a very explosive offense did not look so explosive. And I think when you look at this Kansas City offense again, where is it coming from? You're always telling me how easy it is to predict. It's Rashee Rice.
Yep.
It's Isaiah Pacheco.
Yep.
It's Travis Kelce.
Yep.
I'm very confident that this defense is on another level than these other defenses they've run against, and they're going to have to beat him a different way.
Well, I mean, I like my chances with Patrick Mahomes. I like my chances with Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. I like my chances with Patrick Mahomes with points. I like my chances with Andy Reid against John Harbaugh. I like all those. I like all those factors. To me, those are huge.
Yeah, I of course have a nice position on them to win the conference, Sean, and naturally. When people see that you're about to be very successful, they want to latch on to it and give you their opinion. A lot of people telling me I should be putting some money on the Chiefs. Why don't you throw a little bit on the Chiefs? Yeah.
I wouldn't hedge with the money line, but 3.5, you could talk about a fun middle opportunity there.
No, thank you.
Okay.
I will 100% be annoyed that I got cute and went against Patrick Mahomes if this doesn't work.
Yeah.
But this whole season I've believed in Lamar Jackson. I've made a tremendous amount of money in this Ravens team. And I do think the Chiefs are more of a name brand than they are of a football team right now. And the last thing I'll leave you with
I disagree.
What do you mean you disagree? This is the worst. This is the worst offense they've had in the postseason.
Yeah, but it's their best defense.
It's the best their defense has been, but I think in this matchup, the fact that the Ravens, I think, will be able to play some bully ball, That's not the reason they've been elite down the stretch. They've been elite because of their defensive backs and how well they're playing. Their defensive backs are playing so well that I think it's drawing some attention to the DB coaches in terms of maybe getting opportunities. And so if the Ravens are just going to punch them in the mouth and run and play bully ball and line up with a couple tight ends, and I just wonder what the Chiefs are going to look like in that matchup. And on the other side, this is an elite defense, period. And we didn't even talk about it, but Marlon Humphrey is back out there practicing, and that's not a minor addition here. So one team trending one direction with the injuries.
Willie Gay sounds like he's going to play linebacker for the Chiefs, who likely maybe spy Lamar. So obviously having him
with a neck injury, so Lamar might whip that thing into shape real quick. Yeah. So I guess we're going to disagree here, but yeah, not only did I not hedge, I went over, I saw that Cut was offering a nice amount of liquidity on the, on the Chiefs at a nice price. So I scooped up the entire wad, minus 170, Sean. I laid 1,700. So I'm in.
Brian, couple other things to note. Mark Andrews, who've been dealing with the high ankle sprain, practice all week last week. It does sound like he will go. SGPN football doc predicts him closer to 75% than 100%.
I don't think they're going to use it.
It'll be interesting because Likely's really good. I always like Likely. People thought I was crazy projecting him how high I did in fantasy. And it did kind of get there to a certain degree with the Andrews injury, but something to keep an eye on. I'm sure we'll talk about it on the prop show. We'll see what Andrews numbers are prop wise.
If you're going to play Andrews, I think you look for touchdown stuff. I think Likely still you play the yards or whatever.
And Likely's been really good. Certainly if they're banged up at all linebacker wise, he can attack that. So worth noting there. Ryan, and kind of brings us to the cut read. Of course, go to cut.com, promo code SGPN, get the 10% deposit match where you can go head to head. I said to Ryan,
well, I bought all the there's no more action.
Ryan's been sucking up action left and right over on Cut. Again, challenge us. I'm on Cut. Kramer's on Cut.
I've been challenged once and I won that matchup. So maybe you can get the first dub against me.
The Don of Cut. We were talking in the. I was pointing out how
it's a great name.
I was pointing out how Mahomes' yards per attempt pretty good, and he's been running pretty well. I think he's going to go all in, back against the wall. I think of rushing touchdowns in play. I think certainly some of the maybe a Mahomes rushing ladder, because his initial price I thought it'd be higher. It's only 26 or something like that. I said to Ryan, I think the numbers we went off was Mahomes 26 rushing yards. Lamar 64 rushing yards.
Yep.
And I said, what do you think the odds would be that Mahomes could have higher rushing yards than Lamar Jackson? Kramer came up with the price plus 900, and he said, I'll take your action, get it on there. So I reached out to Cut. They got the bet listed, put $100 on Patrick Mahomes to have more rushing yards than Lamar Jackson at plus 900. Sitting here just waiting for someone to claim it. Maybe it will be Ryan. Maybe he'll stick to his guns, or maybe he'll only fill like $25.
I feel like you left some important details.
What did I leave out?
Well, first you said make it so it's the odds are in my favor. So we juiced it up a little bit, and then I said I think I may take that action.
Okay, stay tuned. See if Ryan takes the action. Maybe
why would I tie up my liquidity for 3 days when I can be trading this whole time?
Maybe the listeners are brave enough to take my plus 900 action. Go to cut.com, promo code SGPN. It's in the public bets. Just hit NFL. Can't miss it. Ryan. And of course, we're also brought to you by PrizePicks. Head over to prizepicks.com/SGPN and get started there. PrizePicks.com/SGPN. Get 100% deposit match up to $100. Love firing away on some PrizePicks lineups. College basketball as well. Obviously, we'll talk a little NFL here. Ryan, it'll be interesting to see. This is our time to put together a lineup. See if we can agree on what we like here.
Why will it be hard? I can take props on the team I bet against.
Yeah, so I've done that a number of times this season. We could start with Justin Tucker. 1.5 field goals made. Harrison Butker, Pacheco to get a touchdown. I like that.
I like the I am good with the Mahomes.
Well, we have a promo here. I'm seeing of Christian McCaffrey more.
Oh, let's throw that in.
Right.
It's 99% off. How kind.
Yeah.
Looks like you got 90 hours to cash in on that. So
okay. So head over there ASAP.
Should we do the Mahomes rushing yards?
Oh, I like that. Do you like that, Ryan?
Yeah.
So you like more Patrick Mahomes? 26.5 is what PrizePicks has it at.
Yeah. I like both. I mean, I also like Lamar to have.
Do you want to take Lamar? Well, I can't take Lamar because I already got bet against it. Well, assuming it fills, assuming someone's bold enough to claim it.
Well, yes, you would, but you can win with hires hitting for both.
Oh, you're right. So, okay. Do we want to put Lamar Jackson higher in there? 64.5 is a lot, right?
Well, all right. Well, we don't. I mean, why don't we take? What we should do is we should take the demon for Mahomes.
Okay.
Right, because you're playing him to have the moonshot. So they have a 39.5.
Oh
here.
yeah, let's play that instead.
Okay.
Okay, so far we got more Christian McCaffrey, a half rushing yards, more Patrick Mahomes, 39.5 rushing yards. Any other? I think we just keep it to this game, but
you want to? All right, so nothing in the other game. Let's see. We can
save that.
Well, I mean, what do we think about Gus Edwards? Do we want to fade him?
I don't know, man. You mentioned it when we were doing those underdog drafts. He got a little banged up. I don't know, like the wrist thing. It seems like they kind of like Justice Hill more. I would rather take Justice Hill, honestly.
Here's the hedge for your other position. You take Lamar demon over rushing yards.
Okay.
And so if Mahomes has the great game, but you get beat out, you have it covered here with a nice little 3-banger.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that, Ryan. Not going to be taking any positive Lamar stuff.
So if you did want to do that,
why don't we do Justice Hill? Justice Hill. I'm on
if
board
you
with.
did want to do that, it's 100 to pay. 100 pays 15.50.
Justice Hill at 32.5, I think is way too low.
I like that.
Okay. All right.
Wait, does he have a demon?
Oh, he does. Yeah. If you want to do his demon, 49.5.
Yeah. He looked pretty electric.
So 100 would win us 15.50.
It's the same.
All right.
Oh yeah. Let's get down a little heavier on this one. Or what's the heaviest you can do with the promotion?
Let's see.
I have promo dollars. Where'd these come from?
Well, you get those bonus dollars, Ryan. Should I put some company funds on this PrizePicks
release the research and development budget. No lunch for Colby tomorrow.
All right. I'm going to be entering that in while we speak. Of course, prizepicks.com/SGPN, 100% deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks, daily fantasy made simple. Yeah. The Justice Hill, honestly, is the pro Ravens stuff. I like the most.
I think I'm going to be, not to get ahead of ourselves, but I think I will be hunting for a random Ravens receiver, trying to figure out which one, because I do the one area where I the one area where I can say the most nice things about the Chiefs is on the back end.
Wait.
Yeah.
So wait, you're hunting for a random Ravens receiver,
the guy they won't be paying attention to.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So you think they'll shut down their main guys?
I'm certainly not going to be looking to play passing angles. I think again, like whether it's Willie Gay and his sore neck, I do think there's an advantage for Lamar on the ground. It's the playoffs. Lamar has said out loud on microphone for everyone to hear that he likes to run the ball more in the postseason. This is when Lamar the player gets to override Lamar the agent and goes out there and just balls because it's championship time and he doesn't want to lose the same way he did last time. All right. You want to talk game 2?
Yeah, let's go.
I officially have some inside information on this one.
Ooh, okay.
Definitely breaking some news. 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. We head up to the beautiful Bay Area. Well, kind of the Bay Area. You got to drive an hour outside of the go over a bridge, and there you are in beautiful Santa Clara, California, where I hear the Wi-Fi is great in the stadium. Sean, Niners laying 7 as the Detroit Lions come to town. Dan Campbell. Shout out to Big Blue VCR. He put out a awesome video of Dan Campbell when he was sitting next to Jeremy Shockey. They both have long hair. They look like parodies of each other when they were both on the Giants. As Jeff Garcia is melting the Giants away in the playoffs, Dan Campbell just punts his helmet. It's an autumn. It's just you got to watch it. I'll make sure I retweet it from my account at Kramer Centric. But Dan Campbell comes to town. Like I said, San Francisco laying 7 -325 on the money line. Lions +260. 51 is the total. Lions are in very, very deep water, as Dan Campbell said they like to be in. So even though the franchise hasn't been this deep into the playoffs, potentially, I mean, they've never played in a Super Bowl. They have some championships. Like before they had the cool merger and trophy, and then Niners. The story seems to be circling around 2 things: one, Brock Purdy and his inability, his tiny hands that can't handle wet footballs, and is Deebo Samuel going to play through some pain? Seems to me if it's just pain, Deebo would play through it.
Yes.
Deebo seems like the kind of guy that plays through pain.
Well, and according to SGPN Football Doc, his handle was if it was more serious and he was definitely going to be out, we would have known by now. Jerry Rice also said that Deebo is playing. Jerry Rice goes, Deebo's playing. He's a dog. So I don't know. I feel like Jerry Rice.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. I mean, Jerry Rice, I'll pull up the exact quote, but I feel, God, blog spam's so annoying. Let's see what his exact quote is. Quote, I expect Deebo Samuel to be on that football field. Former 49ers wide route, Jerry Rice said. That's the bottom line. I think with Deebo being a competitor that he is, he's going to be ready to play. So Jerry Rice saying you're going to play. I feel like you have to play or everyone's going to think you're a huge pussy, right?
Yeah. And I don't know. I wonder, he's a guy who's like, he plays tough. So if he's like banged up, is he going to be the same guy? Like that's the first thing I think about.
No, I mean, like he lowers his shoulder. So if it's a shoulder injury, I mean, I know they can shoot it up, but like part of his, to your point, Ryan, like part of his appeal is, Marshawn Lynch run through a motherfucker's face. And if he's not able to do that, or if he's not able to plow through contact, I'm not even calling him soft. I just don't know if he's going to be able to break as many tackles and be as valuable as he normally is.
I would. So as someone who played a number of rugby games with a shoulder.
Listen to this. Well, Jerry Rice says Ryan Kramer definitely going to be playing.
I'm gonna side with Deebo for a second. Depending on what the injury is, I wouldn't be as much worried about him running through motherfuckers than I would him having to reach and extend his arm and make catches.
Or holding on the ball too. I think that's where, like, if you're trying to carry the ball in that shoulder.
But if Kyle Shanahan is smart and Dan Campbell is,
well, maybe they
dumb,
hand the ball off to him.
And I could imagine a caveman like Dan Campbell falling for some traps that Kyle Shanahan creates. And I think one of those traps will be Deebo. I fully expect him to be out there as a decoy, so he stays healthy. He's not going to get a ton of touches. And I do think the way you attack this Detroit team optimally is down the field. You attack them down the field. You attack them repeatedly with explosive plays, and you will hit. And they've been giving up explosive play after explosive play, and they're getting wins, but they're still giving. I mean, twice Mullins completely destroyed this defense. And I think as long as the weather is going to be fine, which it seems like the weather is going to be fine, you would expect that San Francisco should be able to attack the ball, attack this defense down the field with Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle. And I don't think Deebo is that down the field guy anyway. Yeah. And so it kind of fits perfectly into this model of, well, if he's the decoy and if they load up against McCaffrey, which they are good against the run, so they could potentially bottle that up. Do you think Brock Purdy can do it. And I got to be honest, as someone who very, very strongly pondered this game, visually in my mind, seeing Brock Purdy's dumb face when he made mistakes.
Farmer
last
wants
week,
a wife.
He looked so beta.
Yeah,
it hurt. Jared Goff is he the clear alpha in this game?
Bit of a dog.
That's also terrifying. Nick Bosa coming down and that 2-handed pass could come out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, Aiden Hutchinson also terrifying. I mean, he did not. I understand the slippery ball thing, but as a guy who likes to study footwork and eye level,
and slippery balls.
No, but he was putting his eyes down a number of times. He was looking at the pressure around him. That is not a good sign for a quarterback, especially in the Shanahan system where it's all about efficiency. He did not feel comfortable in that pocket. And I think the Detroit Lions defense can make him feel very uncomfortable. Aiden Hutchinson looks like a man possessed. And if you believe that the Lions have a fighting chance to win, he is like a fun guy to toss out for Super Bowl MVP even before this game happens. Cause I'm sure you can get it at something. We'll see what they have it listed at, but it's got to be close to 100-1 if you're talking about dreaming big here. And I do think if they do get there and if they do win the Super Bowl, it would be because they had some big defensive plays, which you would need. So I don't know, probably getting ahead of ourselves here. As far as the game at hand, I mean, I think it's tough for me to have confidence in Brock Purdy. I get it. I know the win-loss is good, but man, as a guy who relies on watching ball and eye tests, I don't know if it's there for Purdy. I mean, let's look at the last two big games he played. Throw the Washington game out because it's Commanders and they suck. At home, big game against the Ravens. Whew, golden sombrero, 4 interceptions. Last time against the Packers, big game. And now kudos to him. Hats off. He does deserve credit for marching down the field and, getting the win. But I don't think that was like elite efficiency. And that's his calling card is elite efficiency. And there was just too many missed throws. Last 2 starts at home, he's sub 60%. That is not going to get it done in a Kyle Shanahan offense. And let's look at the other side. Look at Jared Goff. Oh, Jared Goff outdoors. It's fucking San Francisco. It's not the Arctic vortex. And you want to talk about a guy who's not afraid to go up into the Pacific Northwest. You remember his playoff game against Seattle. He came in there with, what do you have, a fucked up thumb? Played his ass off for the Rams. Like Jared Goff, as much as I've given him a bunch of shit, I have to take my hat off to him. Like the dude has come up pretty big in these big spots. Now, I do think the Lions are going to be able to move the ball, and I think it's going to amount to David Montgomery. I think David Montgomery, Laporta, those are your guys against this 49ers defense. You looked at Aaron Jones. Why did Aaron Jones break off that huge run? Because I think if you start lowering your shoulder and get physical with this 49ers defense, you can crack them open for some big running plays. So look for David Montgomery, maybe get some touchdowns, break some big plays. I think he's going to be a big part of their success. Watching that game, I heard a number of "Go Pack Go" chants, the Lambeau Stadium going crazy. Don't underestimate the ability to restore the roar. We have not talked to Derek Stevens, Ryan, if he's taking the PJ up the. I mean, that's not much of a trip from Vegas to San Francisco. In Derek's jet, I'm sure he's got that thing souped up.
There's an airport in Santa Clara, right there.
Yeah, you're talking 45 minutes. I don't know if he's bringing the crew. We'll talk to him Friday night. But I saw a tweet online. Lions fans are projected to take up 22% of Levi's Stadium, already up from 18%. So they're going to show up. I don't think Levi's Stadium is a particularly strong home edge, especially. I mean, their biggest edge, I think, is kind of the weather, and that's Brock Purdy's worst nightmare. You just look at the mentality of this team. This Lions team is dialed in. They got nothing to lose. They got the biting kneecaps, the restore the roar. Jared Goff at San Francisco, he's played pretty well, 2-2, but you look at 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1,000 passing yards. He's only been sacked once. And I think that's how this game changes. If If Jared Goff is on his back, if Jared Goff is fumbling, this game is kaput. And you look at why did the Lions win the game? They were able to convert on interceptable passes. Why didn't the Packers lose the game? They weren't able to convert on interceptable passes. Brock Purdy, even when he's quote unquote dialed in, still throws a high level of interceptable, turnover worthy passes. Last but not least, my stump speech here for the Lions. They brought in a vet. They brought in a guy with championship experience. They brought in a guy, his ball hangs up right behind me in my locker. Super Bowl champ, Zach Ertz. Last time he was in an NFC championship game, 8 catches, 93 yards. Do you know what his anytime touchdown price is, Ryan?
Oh my God.
Some places have it at only as plus 550. Why? Because he's getting a damn touchdown. Let's go Lions, restore the roar. The Lions have been good on the road, 28 points per game, 405 yards per game. You got Frank Ragnow putting the damn team on his back. I like this Lions team.
So you're not worried about his health or the fact that Jackson will be out, one of the tackles.
Yeah. Am I worried about Ragnow's health? Sure. But dude, like the pain he played through in that game, he's not coming out of that game.
You know how adrenaline works, though.
Yeah.
I think there's a certain aspect of he won't be the same player. There's no way he can be the same player. I think when you're,
I think he'll be all right.
When you're without left guard Jonah Jackson, I think that there's enough impact to this offensive line that you at least have to have some pause. I mean, when you look at the splits to how often Goff was pressured in the second half versus the first half, there has to be some level of correlation to the injuries.
Well, and 49ers, easy pointing out, you can get deep on the 49ers. Jamison Williams hitting them deep is not out of the realm of possibility.
I agree with that. If the offensive line can hold up, but I do think that there is, like, the Niners the Niners can pressure you, and we've seen Jared Goff make mistakes just like you're describing with Brock Purdy. I mean, when I went back and watched the Lions-Bucks game, I felt very fortunate to get out of that with a cover. Sean, you were on the Bucks. You remember Jared Goff was very close many times. I think you even said the teams like bet on keep dropping all these interceptions.
It was annoying.
The Bucks had more opportunities than the Packers did against Purdy. And so, yeah, everything you said about Purdy.
Wait, the Packers had more interceptable opportunities than the Bucks did.
No,
I disagree.
I watched that entire game
so
again.
Did I.
The Bucks had a dropped pick 6 and 2 to 3 others that went through the hand. I'm just saying, Jared Goff made as many horrible throws that could have turned the game and even cost them the game as Brock Purdy. And I just think when it comes down to it, the playoffs, they always work like this. At some point you get sifted out. And I think, unfortunately, it's boring, and it proves the conspiracy theorists true. But I think the top teams this year are that good. And could Detroit win this game and shock me? Yeah. Is there a little bit in my brain where I'm like, Jared Goff is the quarterback I think I trust a little bit more.
Yep.
But boy, I just think that Shanahan's going to come out with an insanely good game plan. I think they're going to hit Ayuk and Kittle for explosives early in the game out of the scripted stuff. And I think it's mostly going to be a catch up, and it's going to be the worst of Goff. And so the inside Iggy I do have is that Jared Goff will have over 60 friends and family members at the game.
Restore the roar.
Well, I asked directly, I'm like, well, how many of those, cause this person will be how many of these people are Niners fans? Oh, more than half. So who will they be rooting for?
Jared Goff. The guy who gives you the tickets.
Will Jared Goff be, will have to any pregame commitments that potentially could distract him from the goal? He has played well up there, full disclosure.
Yeah.
But to me, when it gets down to it, and you mentioned loving Patrick Mahomes rushing yards. Well,
yep.
Let's talk about Brock Purdy rushing yards, because
no part of it. He did not look comfortable running.
The Detroit Lions, they let that happen.
Yeah.
And I think with the way that Shanahan is going to deploy this offense, I think that's going to be an interesting angle. The ladder opportunity there.
No, I mean I was on it for
this is the matchup.
I was on it for Baker. He got 15. Hit his over.
That was like 2x.
Yeah, I think his total was 6.5. He looked very hesitant running the ball. Again, it's tough to tell.
His timing looked off. So when I went back and watched that game, basically every time that Brock Purdy got to a place and the thing wasn't exactly on schedule and the timing was off, he definitely looked confused. And I think the way that they were playing defense against him, they were sitting the fuck back. And eventually they were basically playing the long game. Like McCaffrey's not going to bust a long one, so beat us deep. That's just not the way that Detroit's going to play defense. Like Detroit's never going to play defense like that. They're going to play the way they've played all year, and it's going to be more aggressive. It's going to be more attacking, and it's going to enable them to give up big plays. And I think, unfortunately, we're going to see the Niners have those big plays. You can check me out. I'll definitely be on Brandon Ayuk stuff on the prop show this week.
Yeah, that could be that. I mean, Ayuk's interesting. So is Jawan Jennings. I think
Jennings is only interesting if Debo's not out there.
Yeah, I guess maybe he plays and Jennings doesn't get it.
I like, and I would, this is where if I guess
Ayuk's the more obvious one, but I don't disagree.
If I'm in the lab, I'm looking to find ways to correlate maybe Purdy, like something to do with like Debo overall under with maybe longest play over, or something where he's not going to get a lot of volume. I don't think Debo gets a lot of volume. Maybe even like taking Debo unders with Niners alt spreads. I just think he's going to be a decoy. He's going to enable one of Ayuk or Kittle is going to have a 2 touchdown game. I have to figure out who's going to be in the 2x4.
So it sounds like you're on the Niners, Ryan.
Oh, I'm laying the points. And you know what I love, Sean? Love this Niners team in the teaser. Love the Niners in the teaser.
Sharp. I mean, everyone will tease Kansas City and San Francisco down, and then Lions will win outright.
I told you as late as this morning I was still undecided.
No, you were never undecided.
I was undecided, and
you met a minus sign. You're all chalk.
I like the chalk. It was Jared Goff that was giving me the pause, but then when I took a second to think about it, I'm a market dynamics guy.
I think Jared Goff's better than Brock Purdy.
I think that Jared Goff has had a great season, and he's more playoff hardened.
I think we'll see Phillip Rivers in the Super Bowl if San Francisco
wins. This game was in
Brock Purdy could get fucked up.
So if this was like Detroit plus what would it be? Plus 2, like 2.5 plus 3 at home, plus 3.5 at home, whatever it would be.
Yeah.
I would love Detroit.
Really?
I would. I just.
So what do you think the defense can't travel?
I do think the noise in the
I think the 49ers kind of seemed baffled against a Joe Barry defense, a guy that they just fired. The Packers fired their defensive coordinator after, and I don't know. I know Dick Puncher and Packers fans hate him, but I thought he coached up pretty well down the stretch. I thought that defense played pretty well. I guess I don't know the history as much with Joe Barry, but I was surprised because you go on the road and I thought their defense now. If they catch a couple of those interceptions, they might win that game, and then Joe Barry still has the job. It's kind of crazy how thin the margins are in the NFL.
Yeah, I certainly think them knocking Debo out early helped them create some negative plays, get him off schedule, and then to your point, Purdy, when the timing was off, was just completely unaware. It seemed unclear on what to do. Now it does sound like after the fact that there's a little bit of accountability that Shanahan talked about the coaches fucking up, but Purdy looked. I had to overcome Purdy looked uncertain, and I had to convince myself that it had a lot to do with like he actually had confidence issues gripping the ball because his hands were small.
So the past 2 home games, it was the Packers game and the Ravens game. Those don't scare you off it. Because that's what got me. Like,
well, the Ravens, I think, are an elite defense,
right? And they destroyed them.
Yeah, I 100%.
Right. But they struggled against the Packers defense.
The last game at the end of the day, and we said this in real time.
So your take
we kept watching them.
Your take is they struggled against the Ravens. Ravens are dominant. Struggled against Packers because the ball was wet.
But I don't know how much they struggled. Other than like they still won the game. They still had a number of longer drives.
Yeah, I guess just eye test. It felt like the Packers should have won that game.
Well, both things can be true. I thought the Packers offense played really well. And I thought the Packers defense knocking Debo out and having some really well timed opportunities, like that was the difference. But at the end of the day, the Niners did still win the game. And when you go back and watch the game, I think there's a lot more like boring Niners are just kind of leaning on the Packers. And so yeah, I am willing to say that Brock Purdy's like overall like the strange body language of last game. I'm willing to give him a pass that there was something going on with his tiny hands and weather. But as far as like why I'm confident they'll bounce back, because I think it's a much better matchup, and I think Detroit's defense has shown you over the past large sample of the season that they're giving up yardage and points to just about everyone. And if anything, it's like a regression thing. They're due. They've been a really good at not breaking. They've been bending like a motherfucker, and they're just not breaking.
Derek's going to be disappointed, Ryan.
What do you mean?
That you're taking the 49ers.
Well, as long as I shop for the best price, he'll be happy.
Derek does like to put the player in the best spot. All right, let's close it out with a lock and a dog. Of course, brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Tomorrow's the prop show. Going to be firing up the old HOFBets.com or the Hall of Fame Bets app. Use the promo code SGPN. 50% off your first month over on Hall of Fame Bets. Bet smarter, not harder with Hall of Fame Bets. Easy to use, easy to help you dominate, and even follow them on Twitter as well, because you can do your own. Obviously, that's what the tool is for. But if you also follow them at HOF Bets, they tweet out a ton of winning stuff that their system has, and very fun, especially if you're transitioning over to the NBA. Tons of data in that sport as well. Very fun to fire on some player props. So HOFBets.com, promo code SGPN. They got you covered. Hall of Fame Bets. Kramer, time for our lock and our dog. What do you got? What's your lock, dog?
Were you scared away from a tease this week, Sean?
No, I mean,
work some totals in.
I mean,
do you have a totals prediction for the first game? 44.5.
Gun to my head, I would go under, right?
I'm not so sure about that, because I do. It's still Patrick Mahomes. I still think they're going to get some points. I think Baltimore is really good, and I think it's for me. It's more being bullish.
The handicap is I think the Chiefs can confuse Lamar, slow him down, and keep him under 20 points like they have most teams. 44.5 is pretty low. See what the weather is for there.
I would play the team total. I think for the Ravens. That's probably the way I would attack it if I was looking to get a total.
So what's your lock, Ryan?
Well, the lock is the Ravens. That's easy. -3.5. Everything we've ever learned doing this show for 12, 13, however many 1,800 episodes. You lay the 3.5. You don't take it.
I also learned something else. It's called bet on Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. You fucking idiots.
Oh wow.
Give me the Chiefs +3.5. My dog.
Can you play the donkey sound effect, please, for yourself?
Yep.
It's Dominic the donkey.
Pretty donkey last week as well. Give me the Lions. Well, I like both on the money line, but in honor of all of the Detroit nation, give me the Lions on the money line +260 right now. Let's go. Kramer, what do you like as your dog? You have no dog.
What do you mean I have?
You have two dogs. But not on this card. What are you doing?
Well, I think
we're contractually obligated to give out a plus money dog. So you're parlaying the two favorites. Do you want to go money line? Make it safe for you.
The way I got to your 9-1 was around the concept of a Lamar ladder.
So you could do Ravens.
Lamar Jackson has 100 rushing yards. In the game.
Ryan, real quick. Ravens and Chiefs, technically +101 money line parlay. That seems right up your betting alley. Technically a dog.
So you want me to parlay the Ravens money line with the Niners money line
What could go wrong?
to get a juicy plus 101?
Yep.
Just why don't we just parlay the two things together?
So you want to
the logo never lied.
Okay.
In 59 years of there being Super Bowls.
You were working on a graphic for all the
There's never
Super Bowl logos predicting the Super Bowl. It really is. If you start digging in, there's more to the story than meets the eye.
It seems like this is one of these David Blaine street magic tricks. But every Super Bowl logo has the exact colors of the teams that played in the Super Bowl. I'm not making this shit up.
No, you're not.
You want to do it? So we're not going to do a tease.
Nope.
I spent all this time on a tease.
No,
we're just not doing a tease.
So lock it up for me, Chiefs dog, Patty. And I think you know what, my dog.
Can I ask you another question?
I'm gonna put Chiefs in the dog section.
Really?
Yeah.
Just loading up.
Yep.
All right. We didn't total for the second.
Chiefs
game.
and Lions parlay. What's up?
Oh, okay. I thought you were just going Chiefs money line and Chiefs. 51 is the total for the second game. Not totals, guys. We're very clear about that. Not transitioning either.
I do like, you know what? The more I think about it, yeah. The 44.5 is pretty low. So I'll actually go over in KC Baltimore, under in Detroit San Francisco at 51.
That
because I think
your instincts.
I think it's going to be like 24-21 KC or like 27-23, like just over.
So the reason I think, both teams could have explosive plays in the Detroit San Francisco game. That would be
huge,
a scary.
True.
That would be a scary under. That's the scary under for me. I would. You know what, Sean? You know what the advice is here? We're gonna take the over in the first game. We're gonna live bet the second.
Okay. So wait, Ryan, do you want to make it official? Both favorites,
Totals?
both overs.
Ooh. That does sound nice.
There's 4 legs. You can call it your square parlay. I'll give you that.
No,
for when we do our parlay on VSiN, you can call it. There's 4.
I don't think
there's 4 things. It's perfectly sided, square. 4 corners, Ryan.
I don't.
I'm
think
putting you down for the over in Detroit, San Francisco.
All right. So if you had to guess, what is the chalkiest of those 4 things?
That's
going
interesting.
Purely based on bet percentages that people, of course, are 100% the only thing that matters and indicative of what
VSiN betting splits. Check them out. Also, promo code SGP, you get a sweet discount if you're signing up for the VSiN annual.
Oh yeah, and you help us dominate these other fucking shows. What do you think the chalky between the Niners, Ravens sides and the overs?
Wait,
you said my square parlay, so it's chalk Ravens.
Oh, I'm sure Detroit's catching a little bit of steam.
No, but I'm not on those sides. The square parlay is the favorites in the over. So Ravens 56%, Niners.
I'm confused at your question.
Which one's the chalkiest?
Oh,
what's the most popular? Yeah.
Okay, I would say, I would say the over in the Lions 49ers.
So that has 56%, just like the Ravens spread. The Niners at 36% of the bets. So
so wait, you're saying Kansas? So you're saying Ravens are the public side?
Barely, though I wouldn't call it that. What I'm saying is that
that's early in the week.
The over in the Chiefs Ravens game is the chalkiest position. 84% of the bets on the over early. That's shocking.
Easy's with me. Let's get it. Hey,
of course he's with you.
Thank you everyone for tuning in to the Sports Gambling Podcast. Promo code playoffs, 15% off everything. Only January's coming to a close. Get that gear. We got a bunch of cool new designs. Shout out to the merch guy, Jake Paquin himself. Really been killing it with all the great merch. And we'll be back talking props. Make sure you subscribe. Tell a friend. Perfect time to get people in on the podcast. And last but not least, Apple Podcast reviews. We'll see when I'm going to announce them, but keep sending those in. The 5 stars. Going to hook some people up with some sweet gift cards.
I got to be honest. Haven't seen a ton coming through. Seeing a lot more for Colby and his stinking chat. You know how bad it is for us. We got to deal with this guy. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Please.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Red and purple, Sean.
Kramer. Let it ride.